Excel can be used as a calculator, but it is a lot more powerful than a calculator. Let's start with some basic examples of doing some math. So if you want Excel to calculate something and not treat it as plain text, you start with an equal sign, and then you can type in whatever you want to calculate, just like you would in a regular calculator. So for instance, if I wanted to add 45 plus 15, and then I hit enter, and then it will calculate that value. If you click on the cell, it still has the original version of the formula, but it displays the solution. And you can do this for all sorts of calculations, just like you would in your calculator. If I wanted to subtract 45 minus 15, then I would just type minus, and it would do the subtraction. Likewise, I can do multiplication, 45 times 15, and it will do the multiplication. I can do division, 45 divided by 15. So we use the slash bar for division, just like it's a fraction. And I can do powers also. So if I wanted to, let's do something smaller than 45, so it doesn't get really big. If I wanted to do a power, let's say 3 to the 4th power, then if I hit enter, and I'm using this caret key, which is Shift-6 on a typical keyboard, then it multiplies 3 times itself 4 times, so exponents. And there's a lot of other functions that you can use in here, but for right now, I just wanted to give us an idea of being able to do a little bit of arithmetic, just like a calculator. But as I said at the beginning, Excel is more powerful than just being able to do arithmetic like a calculator. You can use cell references, and then you can make your formulas that you write, your calculations that you perform, repeatable. So I want to talk a little bit about how cell references work. So I'm going to use this list of numbers that I have here on the left side of the screen as the basis for doing some arithmetic. So first of all, let's just do a basic cell reference. If I want to repeat the value 45, then if I click on it, Excel is going to type in the location of that cell. So in this case, the cell A1. So column A, row 1. Now, if I hit enter, then all it does is it repeats that value. Now, what's nice about Excel cell references, and again, you can see in the formula bar that it still says underlying cell A1. Cell references in Excel are by default relative. So if I refer to A1 from cell B1, what Excel is really thinking is not I'm only pointing at A1 and only A1. Instead, what it's thinking is A1 is one cell to the left of where I'm situated right now. And therefore, if I copy the formula to another cell, that one cell to the left is what Excel is going to copy. So if I copy this formula, I can use the copy command, or I can use this little square on the corner here, and I can just drag it down. But either way, it's going to do the same thing. And what this new formula says is now on the second row, it says it's pointing at A2. And the reason it's pointing at A2 is because this formula behind the scenes is really just saying one cell to the left. And one cell to the left is the second row of A2, not the first row of A2. And so I can copy it all the way down the column, and it will just keep copying one cell to the left. Now, if I want to perform operations on these values, I can still do the same thing. So let's say I wanted to add 3 to every value in my list. So I can go back to my formula, and I can type +3. And so now it's taking one cell to the left and adding 3 to it. And I can, again, copy this formula all the way down the column. And now that same operation is being performed on every item in the column. Each time it's pointing one cell to the left and then adding 3. If I were to copy the cell to the right instead of down, then the cell is still pointing at, this cell is now pointing one cell to its left, which is now pointing at B1 instead of A1. And then it's performing that same +3 calculation all over again. So regardless of which direction you copy the formula, it's always going to point, in this case, one cell to the left, because the initial formula I wrote pointed one cell to the left. Now, what if I want to write a formula and I don't want to copy that one cell to the left? Maybe I always want to use a particular value. The way that I fix that is I insert $signs, either in front of the row or the column or both, that I do not wish to update. So for instance, if I were to put a $sign in front of the 1 here, now the first row is still going to be the same. But now if I copy this all the way down the row, then the row number has not updated. So notice what happened before. When I copied this formula down, it updated the row number because now it's pointing one cell to the left. But by putting a $sign in front of the 1, I'm saying I want this formula to update, but only the column name, not the row number. The row number, I want to stay the same. So if I copy this over to the right, it will still update the column name from A to B, but it won't update the row number when I copy it down. Now, if I put the $sign in front of the A, if I copy this down the column, then the row number will keep updating. But when I copy it to the right, the column number will not update. So here, even though I copied it to the right, now it's not pointing at B1, it's still pointing at A1. And then if I put the $sign in front of both the column and the row, then when I execute this formula and copy it, then it will fix both the row and the column, and neither will update. So by putting $signs in front of both A and the 1, you can force it to always point at the cell A1. So this is called an absolute reference. It's always pointing at A1. But without those $signs, it's a relative reference. And so as you copy the formula, it's going to keep that relative reference, either one cell to the left, or however, if it's 3 rows up and 2 rows over, whatever that initial reference is, that relative reference is when you first make the copy, when you first write the formula, that 1 row up, 2 rows over relative relationship will remain unless you put in those $signs.